Hello, folks. It's Rever here, back with another episode of American Outback. And I am standing back on the main farm, and here I've hooked up our sprayer. That's what we're going to do here in the beginning of this episode is take care of the grass fields that we cut last episode. So we will pull on over to our fertilizer tank here. And before we even fill it up, which we're nitrogen in there now, we may end up spreading some nitrogen, but I would like to head over back to the house and go to the computer and show you guys what let's make a plan. I'm not even 100% sure what we'll do, but I'll meet you back when I'm at the computer and have the spreadsheet open. Well, here we are. And we're looking at field number 12 here, which is unexciting, but I just sort of wanted to start here. It's been a few episodes since we looked at it. And if you remember or watched the last episode, you'll know that we sprayed lime and nitrogen. And because these fields are all pretty much at the same stage, we did that for each of them. And now we got into plowing the 4 fields. Again, I know for some of you won't be able to see the numbers down here as I go through the tabs, but field 20 here, we didn't plant. I did write this in the same way, though realistically it probably should be written up at the top here. And to be honest, I'll probably just delete whatever it is and just put in our starting condition. So if we're at 8 and 2, next round when we go to plant the field, I'll just write that in up top. Same thing with field number 27 here. It's pretty much the same thing. Now, I'm going to do that tomorrow, Tuesday, on the map. We're getting a little bit late in the day. It's about 7 o'clock at night, so we're not going to have too much time in this day to do too much more, so soon we'll be into Tuesday. And I'll readjust my numbers or my days on the side here. And same type deal with, fields 23 and 24, though we'll probably get all of this spraying done ahead of time. So actually when it comes to planting the crops, or after we plant the crops, we won't do anything. And again, we'll see how things lay out. It's always, I make mistakes, but generally speaking, as long as the temperature stays steady and it doesn't rain, we should be in good shape. So same, there's 24. So 23 and 24, again, I'll change that. I have a placeholder here, field 4, so this would be whatever we decide to do on the 4th day. And again, just because of the nature of how crops grow, it's a nice 4-day cycle. Unfortunately, it means we're going to go a ways before we have a field to make us any money. So one of the other reasons for trying to get our grass fields going. Now you can see I have the grass field. There's 2 different ones. We cut field 10 and we cut field 11. And these are the ones we need to figure out what we want to do with it. What I did do was type in the yield right up here that we got using the chaff. It doesn't really matter whether you cut grass or not. If you go back and forth, this yield number won't be the same because grass doesn't yield the same amount as the crone with the chaff. But what I want to do is come in here and adjust this number, this yield number at the very top, so that the harvest yield here matches this number. And what that'll do for us is hopefully predict what we have the next day. And actually, that's not totally true because I believe the grass was at stage 2, which means, this would be the amount that we would get. So if we cut it tomorrow, we're going to get a lesser amount. See how this was 540, but if you cut it on day 1, you're only going to get 400,000. So we need to match this number actually up to that one. I hope that makes sense. Again, you get a partial yield if you cut every day. If you let it go 2 days, then you get the full yield or a bonus. However you guys want to look at that. It's half dozen of one, 6 of the other. So what I'm going to do is take and adjust this number. I know this number is probably a bit less than half of this number, so let's cut this. 80,000 would be half. If we put in 75,000, we get to, that didn't, well, cut this number in half. Sorry, it's less than that. Well, we'll keep going down. You get the idea. 173, so we have to go up a little bit more. 90, we could go up a tiny bit more. 92, got to go up more than that. Let's try for 6,000, 56,000, I mean. Even more. Let's just jump all the way up to 8,000, 58,000. Up a little bit too much. 57.5. 3. Awful close. Close enough for me. So, if my prediction on the spreadsheet is correct, and keep in mind that this field's not perfectly defined, I may have missed stuff, but if I'm within a certain ballpark of this, I would be reasonably happy. Oh, wow, you know what? I did all that, and I didn't adjust this. Sorry about that. So see, I make mistakes and don't realize it. I would have been confused as to why the amount didn't match. So see how that dropped, how much we got down. So we have to raise this number back up again and do the whole thing all over. So let me go back to 80,000. 227, so it's not going to be that. Let's go back to the 75 I tried before. Should be a pure coincidence. 3. 1. Ooh, that's awful close. I mean, you can get really fiddly with it. I don't think the whole thing's going to be that accurate. 988. 6905. Oops. It doesn't really matter. Whoa, that dropped it. What did I do? Let me hit undo. No, not 95, 70. Sorry. 69050. Not 9. So that gets a little bit closer. All right, I'm being too fiddly, but that's awful close. So we should have got a, stage 2 growth. It matches up with this. So that means if we cut this field tomorrow in the game, we should get 116,000. And this is one of the first times I've ever really tested it outside of my test realm. And then I have the same thing going on over here. This one I did change, so I got these nutrients right. And we'll do the same thing. What was this one? 69, so we got to go up, to 85. So let's start at 80. 27, not even near close. How about 90? Still not there. 100,000. Ooh, that's awful close. Let's add another 1,000 to it. Oops, that's a 0. A little bit too high, so you can see how you can just keep fiddling until you get it real close. Yep, see, we're getting, maybe try 6. Still too high. If you get this real close, it's a little bit less, you could theoretically be accurate. I don't know how much you care about predicting the harvest yield, but if you don't care, then you don't have to worry about this so much. It'll still give you a score, as we go to the next step here, which is to see what we want to spray, what'll give us the biggest bang for our buck. The score is what really counts in some ways. You don't have to worry about the exact amount you're going to yield. But that, for me, is close enough. So this is telling me that this is the base yield of this field. So here we go. So the question is, if we spray nitrogen, we get 5. And we also get a minus 0.2 pH. So that would give us a 6.7 for spraying that. Whoops, we did it. I did it wrong, so I have to put it up here. Because you need the numbers for tomorrow. There you go. So that would actually, 6.7 was what we were going to get if we did nothing. We're really not going to get a much better score. Now, we do need to get our nitrogen up. So let's just see here. Let's get rid of this. And what happens if we spread some PK on it? Which doesn't take away anything. So we would get an 8.4 by spreading the PK. Now, our pH level is going to be 6.6. So if we did spread some of that, and this, it's not actually going to take us to 7.2. It'll be 7.3, but I should have the spreadsheet adjusted for that. There's a goofy rounding issue or something, I believe. So see how we get 8.3? So let's delete that again just so you can see 8.4. So really, you know, we're better off not spreading the lime this time because we'll get a very slightly less yield. Probably doesn't really make that much difference. The other thing we should probably consider adding here is that we're going to spread water, which will help us independent of the nutrients. That brings our score up slightly more. So I think the thing to do on these fields, and they're both going to be the same, you know, the scores will be identical as long as the nutrient levels are identical. Your yield will be bigger or smaller based on the field. But so there we go. So I think that spreading some PK and then some, that's it, just PK. So what we'll probably end up doing the next day, and this is where, you know, we can do these things ahead of time, is I would think that doing some nitrogen, that don't put an N there, put a 5, and put a, I'm going to put a 0.4. So I'll spread my, I will spread my lime and get 0.6, and then I have to remember to subtract the 0.2 for the nitrogen. So nitrogen, comma, lime. And that will add 14 more moisture to it. And there we go. So we'll get up to a 9.2. Our PK is a little bit lower than we want. Nitrogen's a little bit higher. Probably end up doing another PK this day. And that'll get us to a 9.1. So there you go. So that's probably going to be our plan for both of these. Again, they'll be the same. There we go. So we'll go out and spread some PK. Let me just copy this part. And am I missing anything? No, I think I'm pretty good. So one of the issues with the grass fields, not an issue, but, you know, is the water. You know, you end up often needing to adjust the water. I'm just going to put these numbers in real quick as we're talking, or as I'm talking. And we'll see. We'll see if my, you know, my yield prediction here for tomorrow is accurate. Or if we wait a day, we would look at this number here. So now the other issue we have to keep in mind is tram lines, and if I cut the exact same way and don't miss anything. But I'll tell you what, if we're within 10%, I would be moderately happy. And within 5% of this number, I would definitely consider that a success. I don't think you're going to get too much more accurate than that because there's some other variables or fluctuation in the amount of the yield that I think may just be random. But it's certainly within 5%. It's a pretty good guess. So there we go. It's a very good guess, I would say. All right, well, that's enough computer and spreadsheet. I hope that helps you understand that. And we'll do the same things as we get numbers. See, we don't know what this number is because we haven't gotten a yield on this field or any of the others. But once we get an accurate yield, then I can, you know, we can go from there. Okay, well, let me leave the computer and we'll get back out to the tractor and get it filled up with some PK and get out to the grass fields. Do some course play courses. Set them up. All right, I'll talk to you in a second. All right, back outside, hop in the tractor. And I will hit the refill button. And once we're filled, we'll remember to switch over to PK. I could use some gasoline in this tractor, couldn't I? We should go do that before I get too far away. Can I back up much? Probably I need to back up all the way, just enough to get into there. I don't think I've ever filled up here on the farm, but I see a gas pump somewhere close over this way. Oh, there it is. I see it through the building there. Let's run around over to here. There it is. Oh, do I have, is it one I have to fill up? But, oh, no, there we go. Good. Trigger's just a little further up ahead. Probably on this side over there versus this one that I'm at. I will head up to, I guess it doesn't matter which one I do first. Might as well do the further one, right? So we'll go up to field 10. I will fast forward for a second and meet you up there. And here we are. So I'm not sure where the best place to start is. I hate to drive on the field. I could start right here, though I really like to start in a corner. So I think what I'll do is just try to make a hard turn, not run over too much of the grass. Now, it doesn't really matter right this moment because, and I hope some of these things aren't clippable, but we're going to try to unfold. And most of the time bushes in this game aren't clippable, but I know the fences would be. So we should get our course play going. Not course play, GPS. Course play just so my mouse cursor works. Turn that guy 90 degrees, and looks like we need to move this guy down a little bit. Kinda, it's probably hard to see on the video, but I can kind of see where I stopped cutting last time. So we'll overlap that just a little bit. Probably won't make much difference. And even though I'm at a funny angle, this should work out pretty well to start the course recording right here. And let's turn the GPS on. And I think that's it. Let's get going. Get ready to turn the thing on. There we go. Alright, so we are spreading some PK. Good. It's always good to check that. If you don't know, you can always overspray what you've sprayed. So if we had forgotten to switch to PK, we could always get nitrogen in there and then just spray over the PK, and it will only count the last thing that you sprayed. We're going to do the same thing we would do with all the other fields. So I will fast forward this, and I'll probably just run right down while I'm fast forwarding unless something happens. I will just get each of these fields done and then come back to you. done. I'm not sure if you noticed, since it was fast forward in this field, certainly one of the goofier shaped fields at that point. Alright, so let's get this folding up, and we'll stop the course play and save it again as F11. Other than that, I think it's a pretty good little course here. So, enter. Alright, so the spraying is done. So I don't think there's going to be any more spraying for today. I was a little bit less disciplined with that because most of the time I'm going to be cutting the grass each day, and even if I don't, you know, I think a little bit of extra loss is not the end of the world. So let's get back over to the farm. Turn our course play off. And when I get back over here, I will start preparing. When we get over there, let's take a look. I added a couple mods. I haven't even looked at them, which is always dangerous for YouTube. Let's close this. We're done with that. We saved it. Yep. So let's go park this guy up, and then we'll take a look. Now, one of the things I don't have, and one of the reasons I'll probably end up pausing, is because I need to find a trailer that we can haul moonshine with. Alright, so let's park this guy here, and let's go to this, and I added some loading wagons, which I didn't have the last time. Here they go. Class, and oh, look, I can hold beets. Strange. So all these, the class, this Stoitzfar, this Crone. So if we go to do that, I'm not sure that we're going to need them, but certainly an interesting set. They seem to all be the same thing with just different logos on them. I think the mod author even represents that, states that. So it's kind of cool if you want a different one. And you could put sugar beets in there, which, yeah, okay. Universal tanks. This is the one that I was hoping. Biogas. Okay, at least it'll do biogas. What is the symbol for moonshine? Let's get out of this and come in here. Moonshine looks a lot like the milk jug, doesn't it? Which sort of makes some sense. I'm sure more than one bit of moonshine was sold in a milk jug. Oops, wrong one. Let's go back to here. So it would appear to me that this guy would hold the moonshine, and it would hold the biogas. So that is absolutely wonderful. I don't have anywhere near this money, though that would be nice to have. So it looks like, let's see, do we have any other choices? Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that's too much money. I think we're just going to have to start with the little one. Again, I don't want to take out a loan just for a trailer, but I can afford this one right now. So once we do get some biogas going, I probably will take out a loan for the next thing. So this universal, I re-added it. You guys might not have even missed it. It was in my other Let's Plays. Nothing new for me anyway. What that symbol means. I guess that's just the manufacturers. So should we go ahead and buy this? I say, not that one. Go ahead and buy this one. Yeah, 10,000 is not going to light the world on fire, but it'll get us going. Oh, we can always rent one, but we'll just buy it. I don't like to rent too much. And what color? Let me just close my eyes and, oop, I don't even know what I picked. Okay. You guys may have seen it, but I closed my eyes. So now we have another mod that gave us a whole bunch of different telehandlers. So I'm not sure, what the difference is. Don't see a whole lot there. The loaders. Yeah, see, that's not a bad price for a loader, is it? Let's see what we got in the regular old loaders. Where are the loaders? We got the Lieber for 165 and the JCB for 195. The reason I say that is I can load from that silage into either one of those pits. So even though I know I can do it with the forage wagon to the one, I know the other regular BGM, I think it is down there, has the regular hoppers. So I think I could make separate course plate courses and just use the loader to do that. But we're nowhere near the money, and we can jump over there, I think, real quick, right? Yeah. Swoop 6. How is our silage? It should just be a few minutes. Let's do F1. 3%. We got a long way to go before we get any biogas. But yeah, see, I can use the loader and still dump into this. But if I... let's see. We can run over here real quick and see if there is the possibility of... No, see, that's the only way. We have to use the loader or something like that to fill this guy up. So we'll get a loader for down here. It'd be kind of costly. How are our finances doing? Not so much money. We have the loan of $345,000. So yeah, I kind of hate to keep going with loans, even when I say I'm not going to do loans. Too impatient, I guess. And part of it is the soil mod. We're not going to see any crop income for quite a while. So that's a bit of an issue. I may end up fast forwarding here just for the sake of something happening. I don't have much money. Let me jump over back to the regular tractor. We can disconnect that, and let's go up and get our... You'll see our new tank. I don't know which way I'm going. Let's go this way, I think. Get out of the farm anyway, and then head back to right where we were before. So yeah, I know there's other things I could probably do on the map, but I think I am going to fast forward for the night, and might even just end up fast forwarding, well, yeah, through the night, and then when it's 5 a.m., I will come back to you. We got quite a bit done for our first day. Fields plowed and everything sprayed, and biogas / silage going. So pretty happy with the first day's progress here on the farm. Nothing wrong with what we got done. We could start talking about I'd like to get the greenhouses going here since we got that little trailer now. Part of the problem when you have just one trailer is sort of making sure you empty it each time. Hopefully that won't be a big issue for us. Don't really have the money. Just, it's just going to be a while before we get any money coming in. So I'm going to probably need to keep looking for things that get the money coming in a little bit quicker than waiting 4 days, 3 more days, whatever way you look at that. That's right, on the other side of this one. And something that's on this map is I believe the hard point extensions, and that's something I've never gotten into or even looked into. I've heard of it. I heard people talk about it, but I never really, I don't know, I guess I was too busy worried about soil mod or something. So we got a red one, which is kind of nice. Look, it more or less matches our tractor here. So there we go. I guess this is the wrong way to go. Take this back onto the farm, and then I will go to bed for the night, and I will see you guys in the morning at that point. If you have any questions about what we're doing or comments about the speeding up, kind of curious to know what you guys think of all of that. It's working out well for me. Like I said, it's other than my video not recording, I do intend to show you 98% of everything I do on the map. You know, once I get logged in, I'll come in and show you what's going on. Won't miss a minute unless I have more video recording issues. It says recording up there right now, so very good. Yeah, John Deere. We do need to get a John Deere on this map. It's one thing, it's a shame about Farm Sim, and it doesn't sound like it's going to change in FS17. Sounds like they're still not going to have John Deere as an official brand, which is a bit of a shame. Certainly, I don't know, in America anyway, it's the... Yeah, I guess I can cut through there. Let's sort of make some sense. Since I'm going to go to bed. Alright, there we go. So let me fast forward a while. I will hit the hay, and I will see you back bright and early, probably about 6 a.m. Alright, see you then. Good morning. It is now 5:30 a.m. And before I came out here, I took a look at our spreadsheet. And it didn't surprise me much, but just wanted to double check what we're doing. I guess I could have parked this trailer last night. But we'll find a good, happy home for him. I like that barn so much because that fence is in the way. Oh, look, this is nice. Yeah, drive right out onto the... Right now. Oh, no, you can't drive out. There's a fence right there. Oops. Never mind. That might be something worth going into Giants editor and getting rid of that fence. Oop. See for the trees. Alright, let's get rid of that guy, and yep, our sprayer's right over here. Follow the tracks I had before. Right lined up. So let's fill this guy back up. Said that we are going to spread some PK and some water today, so we might as well start out with the PK, I guess. Not sure it makes too much difference. There we go. We'll just take a look at the spreadsheet while we're doing it. Get it set up on field 12 is the one right south of us, so we might as well start there, and we'll see how far this covers before we have to come back to the farm. And we'll take a look at our nutrients. We should be, without even looking, I haven't been over there yet, we should be at 8 on the nitrogen, we should be at 2 on the PK, and we should be at 7.2 on the pH, actually 7.3, which is kind of the same thing, and 57 on our soil moisture. We're heading over there, let's see about... I am going to course play this because, oh no, you know what? I don't want to course play it. I will usually course play after I've driven over the crops one time. So, oh look, we got weeds. Oh gosh darn it. So weeds didn't show up until midnight, but then they showed up. Alright, well, we're going to have to spray some herbicide today as well too. Well good, at least we know. I was kind of surprised there wasn't any weeds, but I don't know why they didn't show up. Usually they'll start, as you guys may know, showing up kind of immediately, but whatever. It's all good. Live and learn. Alright, so what we want to do is we are at field 12, spray 24. We're offline a little bit. there's that much. But. So in other words, because let me get back to the tram lines. I will drive the tram lines today, but then tomorrow when I go to spray this field, I will do this, with the course play. That way I don't end up with like huge. I've tried all kinds of ways to reline myself back up, and I just end up with highways across the field. Just, figure enough's enough with the tram lines. Get the idea of the loss of crops, try to be most efficient. So what am I doing? I'm going to turn GPS on, and we are set up for 24 from yesterday. So actually, even as I go to do the water on these fields, I will, not close enough, I would think, maybe a little bit further over. And GPS is on, since we're going to do this manually. Get rid of the one day I'm going to just zoom out with the mouse by habit, not have that happen in the middle of recording, but for now. Alright, so let's get going. And while we're driving around, we can look at our nutrients. So there we go, 7.3. We have 57, 8, and 2. This will be good. This will get our PK up some. And you can see the tram lines that I'm forming as I go. And like I said, as much as I've ever tried to get this exacting, saving GPS courses, when the course play rides over the field, he doesn't leave tram lines. So I will take advantage of that fact, and I will take advantage of that fact. And just, we'll have enough crop destruction from running over them once. If you end up spraying 6 times, it just ends up being like I said, you end up with a highway around the fields. All right, well, let me fast forward, and I'm just going to keep going with the fast forward. If there's something I need to say, I'll slow it down and talk to you guys. But otherwise, this will, probably even end the episode with just a bunch of fast forward, and we'll see what the timing looks like, which is a little hard for me to tell, before it's all said and done. But I've got a lot of spray, and I'll probably pause it maybe in between the types of spray. But expect a fast forwardy episode. Guys, I did think of something. I really shouldn't be spraying this PK on these fields today, because I need an extra water. And if I spray the herbicide, I'm going to get 14 moisture from that. I was then going to, then I could, if I spread the PK tomorrow, I'm going to pick up the extra 14 moisture from the PK. I don't really want to wait too long on spraying the herbicide. Let me stop this, since my brain won't go in 2 directions at once. So, even though I sprayed field 12 with the PK, I want to now come back and spray the herbicide, and then I'm going to have to spray the water, because, the herbicide plus the water doesn't, the moisture's not additive. I'm just going to leave that thing up. Come right over here. Refill and put the herbicide in there. So I hope that makes sense. If you work it out on the spreadsheet, you'll see what I mean. I haven't even done that. I'm just kind of winging it. I think when I get into course plan, I'll update the spreadsheet. But all right, let's refill. And now the trick is, since we haven't thought it through too well, I have just barley and wheat that I have to worry about here. So they both basically follow the same rules, where B or C, but just don't spray A on them. So I usually consider that B, but again, C would be perfectly legitimate. But and then I remember it as B for barley, and wheat looks a lot like barley, so I don't know. I guess that's some kind of a memory trick or something. Oop, not B. We want BB. A little bit of a waste of money, but oh yeah, look at that. Boy, that just yeah, the money that we have now is we now have negative 3,000. So ouch. So in this field, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this field. Now that I've already got the tram lines in there. So what I want to do is actually turn on the course play. And so then we'll have our herbicide in there. But that would only add 14 moisture. I want to add an extra 14. You need 3 sets of moisture each crop rotation, each crop. So this will only give us our second one. We'll come back and spray this field after we get done herbiciding the next 2 fields, and we'll hit this one with water. But then tomorrow we'll spray PK on some of the other fields. So see how your best laid plans soon can fall apart, but don't panic. It's okay. All right, so let's just get this guy going. There we go. So we're going to spread some herbicide, and I will talk to you when, again, something else dawns on me, I guess. Otherwise, I'm going to get fields 12, 13 and 14 all sprayed with some herbicide. So I'll see you when that's more or less done. Course played that. As you can see, I have water in here. So we started out, we sprayed it. I want to check something out. Look at the weeds going nuts now, huh? One of the things I wanted to show you is, see, even though these weeds are growing, they didn't grow yesterday, which is unlike other maps. I see the soil moisture seems to be down a bit, or is not even. See, like if we come to a part where there's no weeds, especially because I just put the tram lines in, so that's not affecting the numbers. So the weeds did or are affecting the soil moisture, but they don't seem to have affected the other things enough to bring down the nutrients. Though there may be an effect that we're just not seeing. But if these weeds were sitting here for days, you would see a significant change in the in the nutrients. And you'll see a change too because of these tram lines, which makes the whole thing more challenging. If you don't, it just makes it more challenging. The tram lines end up being high in whatever nutrient you've sprayed. So now I'd like to talk about the next fields, which is the main reason I came back. So these are sprayed. I'm done with field 12. I won't do anything more to it until after harvest. And what are we going to do? We are going to do canola and corn. Canola in field 27 and corn in field 20. And because of that, I would spray Herb CC normally, but well, I can go ahead and do it ahead of time. It doesn't really make that much difference at this point, especially if you're going to course play it like I do. If you're not going to course play it, after your first run through with tram lines, then you might want to do it ahead of the planting. So let me switch my fertilizer. We're going in the hole with this fertilizing. What I want to do is I'm going to do the fertilizing after I've done the planting. But just so you know, what I plan on doing is spraying Herb CC and PK once we get. And then the other two fields, I didn't think about it. Probably should have been a little bit more prepared, but it really doesn't matter which one I spray. And I believe the Herb A is the cheapest. So what I'm talking about is it's going to be another day before I do fields 23 and 24. So I want to get some herbicide out there so things don't become too uneven. It doesn't matter what I spray because once it's only going to last one day, and whatever I have on there, even if I sprayed a 3 days worth, I'm going to dose it with the right thing. Now I'm going to plant sugar beets and potatoes on those fields. So I'm going to go with the A because that's what they would call for. See, it said the chart says either A or B, so we'll put some A on there. So we'll run up to that field real quick and get those sprayed. They don't take but a minute anyway. They're not. I will come back. Where do I want to go? This way. I will fast forward now, and once that spraying's done, we'll come back and talk about more stuff. Probably when I'm standing on one of the fields. I'm going to show you what the nutrients did last night. We should be pretty much the same as the other field, but because we didn't lose nutrients, because we didn't have any crops on them, we should be at 9 on the nitrogen, 2, 7.3, I guess it would be, on the on the pH. That we're already here and I'm still talking, so I might as well just show you what I'm talking about. Let's hop out real quick, and even though we could drive on this field. So see, we didn't lose anything. So the other field was at 8, and that's because nitrogen was taken away by the crops growing, but with no crops on this field, that didn't happen. So same thing with the pH, we didn't lose anything, though we wouldn't have in the first day of growth there, but we will lose some when we spray this herbicide. So there you go. All right, well, let me come back after I'm done spraying these 2 fields. just wanted to insert a quick segment in here actually. I'm going to cut the video here and make this an episode. It's about the right length. And we will be back in the next one to continue taking care of these fields. I think we're going to head off in the next episode to plant and or spray, probably spray first and then plant fields, mental block 27 and 20. So that should take quite a while. So that in itself should do another whole episode. But we'll get around to spraying and checking out our grass fields and fields 23 and 24. So maybe next episode, but most likely the one after that. So I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, I hope you have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.